What's up, bad babies?
Like to think it's our line.
Don't be afraid of each other. You can scooch in if you want. Or if you want to sit on the edges, that's okay too. We support it all. Hello.
Hi, Kyle. My new friend, Kyle. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to House of Our Live. Thank you for choosing to spend even an hour of your time with us. We know there's a lot going on here, a lot of things that you could do. So we are delighted and honored that you have chosen to come watch us talk about, all the stuff you're about to find out that we're going to discuss with you today.
That sounded very United Airlines to me. We don't have a lot of options when you fly.
I didn't mention
United.
anything about a land or water emergency exit. And so I'd like to think it's a very different experience. Also, nothing about snack boxes yet.
Yet. We are here today to play a couple games, like we do. And then we definitely want to answer your questions. We're so happy to meet you. Thank you for coming. The schedule's jam-packed, so we really appreciate you being here. And we announced this podcast like a week and a half ago, so thank you for coming. I know they've already given you instructions on the Slido app, and if you're South by vets, you know how it works. But just in case, please make sure to put your questions in so that we can answer them all.
Yes.
We're happy to do that.
Please, ask us questions. We don't want to mismanage our time.
No.
We're used to recording 2 to 3 hour podcasts, so figuring out how to do a show in a 45 to 60 minute window is a unique experience for us, and we are going to require your assistance. What was your favorite part of South by so far, Joe? Other than this.
My favorite part of South by so far, other than this, which is a true highlight, is it? I can't say that in a couple hours we're going to go see Dev Patel and Monkey Man.
You can.
Okay.
If you want to pick an event from the future.
No, it might have been the opening night film was Roadhouse. And if you guys don't know, Conor McGregor was there. And he was it was a whole experience. I have been to many rowdy Q&As at South by, but that was by far the rowdiest. And then there was like an emergency in the it was a wild time and truly like a South by experience. How about you, Mel?
That was also my favorite experience so far. I was not there, but that allowed me to make the 3-body premiere on time, which was right after, and I'm not sure I would have made it because I had to head right from the airport to meet Joanna in line, and I was very panicked about time, and she said, there is a medical emergency. I think you're going to be okay. And I was able to see 3-Body with Joe. We're going to be covering that show and the books on House of our podcast. Follow on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're new to the show, hit that follow button. And it was a joy. We always love when we get to see a new thing together for the first time. When we get to see it in person, we're usually on Zoom together. So not only were we together, but we were with a ton of people in the Paramount, and everybody got one of the little headsets, the little headdresses. And a lot of people wore them in real time. We did not. But I immediately took photos.
Mallory went back to the hotel room and just started sending me mirror selfies of her in the headgear. So, yeah.
She did not reply. But now I know she received them because of this right here.
Last night we went to go see the Oscars in a great Austin bar, and that was amazing because it was jam-packed full of people celebrating. Did you have a favorite Oscars moment, Mallory Rubin? Pretend you're Sean or Amanda right now.
So I should talk about the art of cinema.
And then, fight with me.
If I'm pretending I'm Sean, I have to say something about how long I could hold a weight in my hands uninterrupted while podcasting. I don't know if that's really my vibe. I haven't picked up a weight in some time. My favorite part of the Oscars was watching it with you, watching it together.
I know.
And you reminding me somewhere between 37 and 47 times that I have not yet seen Poor Things.
She swears she will. It's on streaming now.
I will. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll do my best, Amanda, and be like, I don't know, Austin Butler wasn't there, so what was the point, really, of the Oscars? If Austin Butler's not going to show up, I don't know.
Mama.
What are the games we're playing today? Mallory Rubin.
Okay, we've got a couple things cooking. We will be playing a little round of Would You Rather today with each other and with you. We have each prepared some prompts for the other person. We do not know what the other intends to ask. It will be a mystery revealed in the moment. If you all have strong opinions, thoughts, if you're horrified by any of these scenarios that we are posing to each other, please feel free to shout aloud and participate. And then we will be playing something that is a little bit less of a cogent, succinct name, title, concept, all of it, then Would You Rather, which is very clear. We will be doing our 2024 IP All-Stars. We're building the dream team. It's a character draft. The characters have to be in a property that is coming out this year. Could have already aired.
Yeah.
2024. What is the mission of this?
The mission is to build a team, but the reason for the team, we're keeping a mystery from each other. And then at the end of it, sort of like the Newlywed Game, which I always love to play with you, Mallory, which is we're going to try to guess what the team the other person has built is. So yeah, it's a 6-person character draft,
Yes.
6-person team. We should let the audience guess before we guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be hard to figure out what my team's mission is. If I'm able to draft the team that I'm intending to draft, I think it'll be quite clear. But we'll find out.
So
we'll find out. Should we get to that first?
Yeah, let's do the IP character draft. 2024 IP character draft. What could be clearer?
Absolutely nothing. If this doesn't work, we're never going to do it again. You'll be the only ones who know.
We have categories
We do.
to draw from.
There are 6 of them. Here they are. Space.
Sand,
Superheroes.
thrones,
Rings.
wild card. Yeah,
House of Our Sweet Spots.
there you go.
Okay. Normally, if we were doing any sort of draft, Steve would be here.
Someone already
Patrick is
asked.
asking, is Steve here?
Steve's not here.
No, but we have exchanged no fewer than 600 text messages with him today, so it's like he's
Just
here.
today, yeah.
Like he's here. He would set the draft order. He's not here.
Since Steve always cheats to let me go first, how about you go first this time?
He does always cheat and let you go first. You've had the #1 pick so many drafts in a row. And I
it's
don't
true.
even get the last pick where I could benefit from being on the swing.
Yeah.
I have some shit middle pick every time.
We're righting or wrong today, and you're welcome.
All right. Big moment here. With the #1 pick in the first of surely many House of R 2024 IP All-Stars
character draft.
mission
Guess
of the
who?
other person's team
What
draft.
are we doing here?
It rolls right off the tongue. You can already see it on the merch. I will be selecting in the, I think, robust but still best to go first category of sand.
Yeah.
Close. Zendaya's Chani
Okay.
with the #1 overall pick, and I can't really go into a lot of detail about why without tipping what sort of team I'm building, but I do feel certain after welcoming Chani to the squad that I will be able to learn to walk without rhythm on the dunes of Arrakis. I will be able to figure out what role, I don't want to spoil Dune Part 2 for anyone who hasn't actually seen it, so I'm going to just speak sort of broadly what role, Desert Tears might play. I will be able to have companionship and warmth and comfort and also a healthy challenge, should anyone get out of line. And I'll also have something else that I'm not going to reveal to you quite yet, but it's going to be very important for my team. It's your first pick.
That was a wasted first pick. Zendaya wasn't even on my list. Sorry, trying to channel my Mal energy. I'm really bad at it.
I've decided to be nice. Wait till you see what my mission is about and how much it stems from kindness and love.
Okay. That's my favorite trap that Mal plays. All right. I will go with my #1 pick then from the Thrones category. If you want to know how to rock a murder cloak or perhaps date a close relative, lean dramatically on any surface available, kill and not yet be killed, braid or put your little hair into a ponytail, wear elaborate helmets, you gotta want to get Daemon Targaryen. Matt Smith's Daemon Targaryen. Yeah. Daemon's on the board.
Great pick.
Daemon is on the board and off.
The bowels of a pleasure den. Are you constructing a brothel staff?
Who's to say?
Should I be guessing throughout and channeling Otto Hightower's energy throughout? Okay, that's a great
Isn't
pick.
that usually
I have no
your
notes.
energy? Aren't you like constantly in your Otto Hightower era?
All right. Daemon off the board.
Yeah.
Dune and Thrones. This is exactly how the hype draft went in terms of the top picks. I will be going in a, I think, frankly, shocking direction with my next pick, but all will become clear in time. I just would like to state for the record that this is not really about the property that this person inhabits. I will be selecting with my second pick in the superhero bucket, superhero film. You could go Marvel, you could go DC, you could go The Boys, you could go Sony, you could do anything.
Study spiders in the Amazon?
God, no. Even I have a limit. I will be selecting Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, Avion of Alads, from the impending Joker sequel.
You have to say it, and you have to say it really Frenchily.
Folie à deux.
Oh, I love it. Great.
Quite literally, pardon my French in that case. We haven't seen this movie. Nobody has seen this movie. We've seen some intriguing marketing updates about how this film is presumably going to change all of our lives. I don't really know what more there is I can say without revealing the mission of my team, which I have to assume is becoming clear to some people, but perhaps not.
Zendaya and Lady Gaga?
You know what else I'm realizing
Are you doing a
about
musical?
this? I'm not. I will find out. We usually are on our computers and we have spreadsheets and we can track each other's picks. Will we remember the teams that we are building when we can't write them
Just
down?
keep repeating them back to each other.
Someone start typing them into Slido so we can track them. You're up. Second pick.
All right. I think just saying this may spoil who it is, but does anyone here mind a Rings of Power Season 1 spoiler? No? Great. Silent shaking of the head. Great. Love it.
Do you think that's because everybody has seen Rings of Power? Or because...
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All
Great.
right, there
what
we
a
go.
great show. We loved it.
Deeply troubled for a second.
I know. It's a little worried. I got to grab Hot Sauron, who fucks Charlie Vickers, as Halbrand. It's off the board. That is a spoiler for Season 1 of Rings of Power. Sauron's in the show, guys.
It's the biggest spoiler that could be issued for any property we will talk about today.
Correct.
Okay, so you've got Daemon Targaryen and Hot Sauron, both of whom were on my board, but are not necessary really for the team I'm building.
I feel very satisfied in this moment. Thank you.
Another great pick. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go space. I'm excited.
You're going to do Star Trek Disco because you're a huge Star Trek fan? Is that what you're doing?
If I were really doing this for you, I would make a Star Trek pick here, yes. I will be selecting with my third pick in the robust, loaded space category. Really, everything is in space, even sand, if you think about it. The 15th Doctor from Doctor Who.
Okay.
Have I destroyed your board?
You've complicated some things for me.
Okay. So this is a pick that is important for my strategy, but it is also a tactic to simultaneously take something away from you that I know could be valuable to you.
That is personally
and
emotionally important to me.
Thus, ensuring
Sure.
that you kind of have to like my team.
Well, you're like we're picking favorites. I don't think you're going to be mad about my team either. That was upsetting, and I am angry.
I've got all the sweaters coming with me that we've seen.
The mustache grooming techniques.
Yep, and some other stuff that I will reveal in time.
Okay. The only reason I'm taking this off the board is not because I think it's super popular, but because I already told you I wanted it. So just in case you decided to be a bastard and take it away from me, I just thought I would get in there early in the space category.
Okay.
I am picking personal favorite Manny Jacinto from The Good Place, who's going to be in the Acolyte series upcoming. We don't know his character's name. We know he's not playing a Jedi because he said he stole lightsabers from all his co-workers so he could go take selfies with them. Yeah. And he said he's just a guy.
Just a regular guy.
He's just a regular guy.
Per
in the
Empire.
Acolyte. Yeah.
I love
I'm
it.
just a guy. But he might be lying because maybe he's also, Sauron. That's what Charlie Vickers said. He's Halbert's just a guy in a raft.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Andrew Garfield was definitely not in.
No, he didn't order DoorDash.
No Way Home.
In Atlanta.
Everything that a performer says in the run-up to a release is always true. We've never been duped before. Do you think that Manny Jacinto will at any point shout, Bortles! In The Acolyte, thereby making both The Good Place and the Jacksonville Jaguars Star Wars canon?
Because of Jake Bortles?
This is one of my favorites. Let's just pause for a minute.
Why?
Pausing does risk that we forget all of the picks that we've made again. I hope somebody is tracking. Isaac, as an editor at The Ringer, it is your responsibility to be chronicling our picks. Glad you made it, man.
I don't see it in Slido yet, I'm just saying.
Last time a Bortles reference came up when we're sitting on Zoom. Sometimes you're like, Zoom, the internet, we're in different places. Can you really feel close to another person when you're just connecting via the digital abyss? And then Joanna responded by saying, Jake Bortles, and the laughter that we shared, because that is not his name. His name is Blake Bortles, and he is one of the most infamous busts in the history of professional sports. And I felt a warmth and a sense of camaraderie.
I was trying, and I failed.
Mere seconds
to be part of the team.
Now you're just out there quote tweeting Ben Solak's NFL Combine insights.
I've learned so many things.
It's all happening,
but not what Bortles' first name is. Okay. So yes, I have Manny Jacinto's unnamed regular guy in The Acolyte. I've got Matt Smith's Daemon Targaryen in House of the Dragon, and Charlie Vickers' Hot Sauron in Rings of Power.
Okay, so it is possible that you could double up House of the Dragon or Rings of Power picks in Wildcard.
Correct.
It's not out of the question, so this is where I'm deciding, do I want to wait on those categories because you've already made a pick, or should I assume that you'll go there in Wildcard? You know what? I don't want to wait because this is an important thing for the team that I'm building. I will be selecting with pride and jubilation Poppy Proudfellow from Rings of Power. A beacon of light and good. Joe, I'm not sure if you know.
I feel like you are making a musical.
That I can't say. I'm not sure that you know this about journeys versus adventures.
Yeah, they must be shared.
Adventures, they must be shared. And Rings of Power was one of the adventures that we shared together, along with somewhere between 10 to 12 people who somewhat enthusiastically went, oh, when we asked if anyone had seen Rings of Power. And so they know how meaningful Poppy was to us and to them, and how meaningful Poppy will be to my team. Welcome to the squad, Poppy. I've got 4 members of my 6-member team for my secret mission. You've got 3. Who is next?
Just to reinforce your curiosity about my wild card slot, I will say I am picking a Second Thrones person, and I am picking Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra Targaryen from House of the Dragon.
I actually just knew a moment of true terror where I thought you might take my pick.
That's what I thought, and then you said Poppy. I was like, oh, Poppy's not on my list. Don't worry, I love her. She's not on my list. So I've got power couple, close relatives, and now married, Daemon and Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Are you making an erotic thriller about incest?
No.
Set in Mordor? And if not, should you be?
I don't know. Are you making an erotic thriller set in Mordor where they're singing? And if not, should you be?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Back to me. I can't imagine that you're going to take 3 Hot D characters, so I'm going to save that for last. I will be going with my wild card. And I will be selecting another favorite of yours, who I thought you might take. I will be selecting Stephen Yeun's Mark Grayson from Invincible, a show that is coming back shortly for season 2, part 2, because this is how television works now.
He was not on my list, but he is a favorite.
You love him.
I do love him.
You love him. You love the team I'm building, and you have to admit it, even though you don't know what it's for yet, or do you?
Stephen Yeun is not known for his singing, so now I'm worried about the musical guess. Am I wrong? I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out. All right, who's your 5th pick, Joe?
Do you remember when we watched Dune together?
Vividly.
And you leaned over?
Oh, yes.
And you were like, she's stunning.
Yes, I do.
I was thinking Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica from Dune for my Desert Power category. And if you need someone to call you the Messiah, convert an entire nation of people to your cause.
Are you building a team of people we've said on pods we want to fuck?
No, but
yes.
It could always help.
But yes? Okay, I love what's happening here. I do feel, without having yet reached a point of complete clarity about your mission, I do think I'm going to say that you're building a team for me and I'm building a team for you. I think that's what's happening here.
Okay.
But that doesn't seem to be what Joe's intention is. Which is a painful thing to have to confront.
Let me pivot on the fly. This is
in
like that
real
time. This is like that time that you said you would never eat the body part of a friend when we did Yellow Jackets.
Where me, I would
after
simply
entrapping
not eat
me
the
into
body part
saying
of a
which
friend.
body part of a friend I would eat.
She picked the tongue.
Of course I'm building a draft team for you, Mallory. What else would I be doing here?
I'm building a team for Kyle, my new friend. Okay, it's time for my hot D pick.
Okay. What are you going to do when I picked the two hottest Ds already?
You're going to be thrilled. Once again, I do feel confident that you will be thrilled with what I'm about to do. A number of wonderful choices I could still make. Obviously, it's always great to have Matt Smith's Daemon Targaryen on the team. I mean, how could it not be a wonderful thing? But again, I'm not here to besmirch your team. I'm here to bring both of us joy. And this will be the last time I do that on a draft because I finished
so
third
disoriented
in the hype draft poll. Never again after today.
Who
Never
finished
again.
last?
You
Me.
did. You did.
Yeah. Let's never invite guests on the podcast again. How about that?
Yeah, just a two-person snake draft for the rest of the time that nobody can follow or understand, where we don't write down our picks or know what's happening. Okay, I will be selecting a character who we have not actually seen yet. Joining in season 2, we are euphoric to welcome a favorite of ours. Freddie Fox is joining the House of the Dragon universe. This is, if you watch The Great, you will know him as King Hugo. If you watch the best show on television, genuinely, Slow Horses, you will know him as Spider. And he will be entering as Gwaine Hightower. He is playing Otto's son, Alicent's brother. I'm not sure that I have had a more visceral response to seeing casting news, even though I am anticipating, based on Fire and Blood, him having 1.5 total scenes.
Yeah.
They will be the most important 6.5 minutes of my year, I feel sure. I mean, and so Freddie belongs on my squad.
Don't you feel like Beesbury had at most 6 minutes of screen time in House of the Dragon season 1?
Gods be good.
Damn me. And yet he made a meal out of every moment. So.
He's responsible for so many of our bits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Your final pick, I believe.
My final pick is my superhero pick. And that just means they have to be in a superhero property, not that they are a superhero necessarily.
Correct.
And I have gone with Marvel. And this is... and I had
Do you guys know...
Oh, come on.
Now's
not the time.
Joanna, I think it's the perfect time. You said the word Marvel, and so thus it is the perfect time. Joanna is the author of the New York Times bestseller, MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios.
Thank you. I don't know what makes me more uncomfortable. You
so proud of you.
Revealing how little I know about football players, or are you revealing that I wrote a book? Okay.
I do think both of those things are public knowledge already, for what it's worth.
I mean, fair. Okay. I had to write down the name of this property because it keeps changing. I can never keep track of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it is Agatha Harkness, The Darkhold Diaries.
Great one.
And the perhaps only Marvel television show we will... Well, Echo happened. Do you remember that Echo happened? Yeah, sure did. Okay. Echo happened. And then coming up in the year, the only, we think, Marvel TV show we're going to get is this Agatha Harkness show, which is possibly going to be good. Who knows?
Agatha was on my board. I'm loving your team.
Whether or not it's good,
that's not relevant right now.
Aubrey Plaza will be in it.
Oh.
So as Rio Vidal, a TV original character, the ex-lover of Agatha, Aubrey Plaza, will be in The Darkhold Diaries. So my list is Rebecca Ferguson as Jessica in Dune 2. Manny Jacinto as just a guy in The Acolyte.
Definitely just a guy.
Just a A regular guy. Aubrey Plaza as Rio Vidal in The Darkhold Diaries. Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra Targaryen in House of the Dragon Season 2. Matt Smith as her husband, Uncle Daemon Targaryen in House of the Dragon Season 2.
Normal story.
And Charlie Vickers as not a regular guy. He's the Dark Lord of Mordor. It's Hot Sauron from Rings of Power Season 2.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Remember when I put a spoiler warning for Romeo and Juliet in our last
Yeah,
Dune
that
pod?
was good. That was good. I think the previous Ringer Podcast Network highlight was Van and Rachel apologizing for putting a spoiler out about Empire. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that Empire.
But you topped it by apologizing for spoiling
Perhaps
quite literally Shakespeare.
the most well-known love story. I'm traumatized.
Okay, here's my squad. Space. I don't know why I'm saying it like The Watcher at the beginning of a What If episode. Space.
Yeah.
Time.
Oscar nominee,
Space.
Jeffrey Wright.
The 15th Doctor. Shooty on the squad here. Sand. Zendaya. Chani. Dune. Superhero. Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn from Joker. Folie à Deux?
Beautiful.
Is that right?
Folie à Deux? Yeah.
Do we think that's how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Okay. Hot D. Freddie Fox. Gawain Hightower. Welcome to the team. Rings. Megan Richards, Poppy Proud Fellow. Wildcard. Stephen Yoons, Mark Grayson from Invincible. Joanna.
Do we not want to let the audience try to guess first? Does anyone in the audience have a good guess for Mallory's team?
Or for Joanna's team.
They're just stymied. Flummoxed.
I have to say I think mine is quite obvious. Joanna, you're operating with like an aura of mystery around you. Not me. What do you think Joanna's team is doing other than fucking in an erotic thriller set in the fires of Mordor? A hand up?
They're definitely hot people, for sure. And that is important.
Okay, so the one guess so far is, are they just hot people? Evil hot people.
Yeah, the evil is not necessarily important.
Let's see. Well, we don't know
Manny Jacinto's
about
just
Manny.
a guy.
Yeah,
You think he's an evil guy?
claiming just a regular guy,
in the
a
galaxy.
story about the dark side of the Force.
Just a guy.
Just a guy. Okay, we've got evil hot people. Anyone else with a guess for Joanna's team?
Cricket sounds, Mallory.
It definitely has something to do with them being hot.
Yes.
And
I will just say this. I think it would be even more apparent if Shooty Got were on my list.
ooh.
Is yours the future liberals want, aka the future I want?
Okay. Any guesses for mine?
I
And then
love
we'll
this.
reveal it.
I love this when you like sit at home and you do something. You're like,
We'll
this
reveal
is
it.
going to be so obvious and easy.
Well, mine was obvious because you guessed it twice already.
It's a musical.
It's not just a musical, though. It's a subset. It is a musical, and I'm doing this for you. I've built a team to make you happy because there are a few things that we know to be true about Joanna Robinson. 1, you love an Ocean Vista. 2, you hate a crevice. 3, you love a musical. And so I have assembled a team, not just to bring you a musical, but a cross-IP behemoth for next year's Oscars to top
I'm
I'm Just Ken.
Wow.
Because we just shared last night one of the most transcendent shared experiences, and that was when I knew we have an
Shooty Got what was there.
obligation. Yeah.
It's true. Okay.
It's a public service, and so I have selected everybody on my team is either musically inclined and or capable of bringing a ton of Kenergy to the stage.
Stephen Yoon's Kenergy. Yeah, okay.
Kenergy, and
Stephen Yoon really threw me off, but
Well-
when you say Kenergy, I'm with you.
was singing at the church in Beef.
True, and he was
Very,
so good.
very memorable.
Oh, I
very
forgot.
memorable
With the
musical
acoustic
moments.
guitar. Oh,
Obviously, Poppy's rendition of This Wandering Day was
Yeah.
like genuinely one of the highlights of our shared experience,
Our life.
so far
Together.
I think Freddie Fox and just Team Hightower in general has to count for Kenergy. Has to.
Yeah.
I will reveal, because again, I'm here to be like collegial and pleasant today, just a rare twist. And so Damon, I did want to take Damon because of course he sang in High Valerian to Vermithor, so that would have been wonderful.
Of course.
And I almost took Sir Kristen Cole just because of the costumes, because he could wear a dumb hat for the musical number.
But then you were like, that wouldn't be for Joanna.
Exactly, because you despise that dumb hat.
Boiling rage.
Yeah. Obviously, my team has quite literally Lady Gaga and Zendaya.
Yeah.
And Shooty was a Ken.
Yeah.
We've already gotten a musical number during the
Christmas
15th
special.
Doctor's
Yeah.
Who run so far. So not only are we going to make you the musical that you want and need, we are going to revive IP storytelling at the Oscars. Now, you might be saying a lot of these are television shows. Why would these people be at the Oscars? This doesn't make sense. What did I'm Just Ken teach us last night? The camera guy, right? They pulled his hand. He got to come on stage. Slash was there. We don't care about platform or genre. The streaming wars, they're over. This is the end of the streaming wars.
You're going to end the streaming wars
I'm ending the streaming wars.
with a musical?
Yes, with the musical. This is about unity and fellowship
Jeezy, crazy.
via song and dance and costuming, and there will be at least 3 wigs.
What if it's like all wigs, like a wig Fantasia?
Everyone can have a wig.
Okay.
And again, this is like the tactic, because have I seen Wonka? No. Did I see Mean Girls? No. Do I quite understand this magical thing you've told me about how they're going to do a Bull Durham musical sometime this year? I don't, though it's just thrilling to hear. But I do recognize that we are in a musical moment, right?
Yeah.
And so I am like, I always think that I'm a finger on the pulse. Hip to the times.
Yeah, that's what I
me.
say about you. Yeah.
And so this feels like right for what the people are responding to now and want, and also like a team that I've constructed that you simply cannot argue against.
Well, it's not about arguing each other's team.
It's
right?
not. All right, Joe. Do you like my team?
I love your team.
Do you like the idea of seeing them perform together at the Oscars next year?
I love the idea of seeing them perform together at the Oscars next year. Do you feel like that means you win?
I think so.
A game we weren't playing?
Unless your team is in fact running a brothel in Mordor. The bowels.
I'll give you some hints.
Of a pleasure
brothel where anyone would be invited. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it,
Let's
though
do
I
it.
did hear a gentle gasp from the audience.
Yeah.
I'm calling this the bisexual awakening.
I love it. Yeah. Wonderful. This is fantastic.
It would have helped if Shooty had been on the list, but other than that, I still think Sauron, Damon, Rhaenyra, Lady Jessica, Aubrey Plaza in literally anything, and Manny Jacinto will get the job done. So
I have no notes.
yeah, bisexual awakening draft.
We're both winners, and so is everyone who gets to watch the Oscars. And where will your team be bringing their magic
At
to the
the
world?
brothel, apparently. Okay. Yeah, at the bisexual
Maybe they'll be at
brothel.
the Oscars too.
After we open a bookstore, we will be opening a bisexual brothel. So I love that for us.
House of Reeds.
Yeah, you're all invited.
Would you rather?
Would you rather? A swift game. We're going long, Mallory. Did you expect that would happen?
I'm shocked. I'm stunned. All right. Would you rather? We've prepared a few prompts for each other. If anybody has a strong opinion, feel free to just shout out loud. Joanna, I picked first in the draft, and so you get to decide if you want to ask a question first or hear a question, field a question first.
You're going to an abandoned desert island and or desert planet. You have nothing with you except a device that can play one thing. Is it powered by coconuts? Who can say? But you have access to a device that can play one property.
Okay.
Are you, for the rest of all eternity,
Yeah.
gonna condemn yourself to watch just Madam Web over and over and over again, or every single episode of Secret Invasion over and over and over again? Oh boy, agreed.
So it's just me and Gaia with every power in the history of the MCU.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Out there on a desert planet. Here's the thing. This is a safe space. I have not seen the film Madam Web.
I know that about you. But I feel like you get
I honestly can't wait. I'm despondent that I haven't seen it yet. Just genuinely.
Okay.
I'm serious. But I don't really see how I could opt into it, not knowing like the extent of the fresh hell that awaits. And so I think I have to pick Secret Invasion because it's the enemy you know. And also,
you can skip around to the Olivia Colman scene.
6 episodes, right? You have more to work with than in a... How long is Madam Web? Or is this like an hour and 37-minute movie? I don't know. Half the length of one House of R podcast. I like the ability to watch different episodes of television. You can just hit some of the scenes, like you said, the Olivia scenes. I could just like play on loop platitudes whenever I was feeling despondent and isolation and needed a laugh. So that's my pick. And then I could just like make a little supercut of basically the trailer and remember the time where we all thought Secret Invasion was going to be great. Remember that? That was weird. That's my pick.
We were so sure.
Joanna, I have a would you rather for you. Are you ready?
But would you lose your mind knowing what they did to Rhodey? That's my question. You need your sanity in the desert. All right, go ahead. What's your pick?
That was painful.
That was tough.
How dare they?
I think you should just do the
How dare
Olivia
they
Colman
meddle
cut.
with Endgame. Okay.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard of Dune? I have multiple Dune prompts for you, Joanna.
I also have multiple Dune prompts for
Great.
you.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my first would you rather for you, Joanna. This is pretty specific. Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have to wear and use,
Yeah.
and I want to be clear,
Yeah.
you must in this
Yeah.
scenario
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
a still suit
I mean, of course, I have a similar prompt. Yes.
during a Lord of the Rings and Hobbit marathon.
And Hobbit.
Extended editions.
Okay. The worst part
In
is that
an
I have to watch The Hobbit.
Absolute panic before we came out here. I texted my husband to see if he would send me the runtime. Removing the extra, because I had the runtime, but like, what is it if you remove all of the thank yous that I don't think you would necessarily have to sit through? 20 hours and 4 minutes. If that's wrong, blame him, not me. And then, I'm still on the first part of the would you rather. Continue to wear and use this still suit that you have been wearing and using for 20 hours of viewing for a video podcast recording. This is the only source of water that you will have during the podcast. The recycled water from the still suit, everyone would know where it came from.
Is it a House of R episode?
Yeah, it's going to be a long
Like
pod.
a 3-hour pod?
Long pod. Long pod. Okay. Or consume every meal for a week from a stranger's Dune fuck it bucket, having no idea what that person previously used the bucket for.
I think I'm going with the bucket
Oh my God. Wow, really?
because I don't think most normal humans
Are gonna fuck it?
would think about using it as a cum chalice, which is the phrase that you used last time we were talking about it.
Again, you can follow House of R on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm really sad that I said that aloud at South by Southwest. I'm so sorry. But like, I don't
Are there any children here?
Yeah.
God, I
Oh
hope
God. I don't think most people are abusing their buckets that way. I'm worried about what
It's
food,
a risk.
And Mallory, you didn't even want to put popcorn in your bucket that was brand new handed to you. So if you, I think you're projecting your germophobia onto me.
I would pick the still suit. Easy choice, not even close. Frankly, I think it would be a pleasure.
No.
No, you don't have to
No.
worry.
Nope.
You're
Nope.
nodding. You
Nope.
know.
I have an answer.
You don't have to
No.
worry
I have an
about
answer.
like
No, no.
planning bathroom breaks.
Wait for it.
You don't have to worry, do we have enough water with us?
Wait for it. Here's mine.
Okay.
Would you rather be responsible for draining, cleaning, and refreshing the Baron Harkonnen's goo tub?
No. That's just almost anything else.
Or wear someone else's broken in, still warm still suit?
I do have a few follow-up questions. Is that
Sure.
okay?
I'm banking on your germophobia about this. Still, like, it's warm from their
has
body
has
and their fluids.
Has it been emptied?
No.
So I would have to drink their
Yeah.
recycled.
Yeah. Like, eventually you could refresh it with thine own, but to begin with, like, you can flush it eventually, but you got to start with a stranger's. Or it could be someone you know.
I do think I have to go, despite saying
Yep.
45 seconds ago, literally
I knew
anything
it.
else.
I knew
I
it.
think I have to volunteer to clean the Baron's tub, even though anyone in that room is risking death
Yeah.
at any point.
You're probably surrounded by dead bodies while you're doing it.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps. Like, you're not sure exactly, is this the pile of blood and viscera from this murdered corpse, or is it the thing I'm dealing with from the emptied tub? Who knows? Who knows?
It's
All right, I've got
real
another Dune one for you.
Gootopia.
Which one are you picking from that scenario? The tub?
I don't have to answer that question.
Okay, so much for teamwork. Gonna stick with Dune. So last time I brought Dune to us. Now we're going
Arrakis.
desert planet.
Dune.
Remember the tooth. Tell me of your homeworld, Usul. All right, wrong Dune. Wrong Dune. Okay, Joe, would you rather, actually just really curious what you pick here, ingest the water of life, pursuing Reverend Mother status, right?
Yeah.
Knowledge across time, this is appealing, but
Yeah.
you are risking death via worm bile.
Yeah.
Okay, or fight Austin Butler's Vader Alpha in the fighting pits of Getty Prime, which means
Am I drugged?
you get to stand under the black sun,
Right.
Right? You get to see this majestic visual scape.
I feel like
But-
immediate sunburn for me.
You have likely been drugged
Yeah.
for sport
Yeah.
by others in order to facilitate your death.
Yeah. And then those like spooky, kinky like handlers will come out with their whips.
Yeah,
and,
but maybe
okay.
that's part of the draw,
Right.
You know, and maybe Lady Margot is waiting for you at the end.
I mean, if only. Okay.
Dare to dream.
Leia Sadu was also almost on my draft if you had taken
I
Rebecca
bet.
Ferguson from me. Okay. So, I'm sorry, what's my first option again?
You can consume the
Oh, the
water of life, but you might die. In either scenario, you might die, but also something really cool could happen.
Oh,
you could
yeah.
become the heir to the Harkonnen Empire, or you could become a Reverend Mother, but also you might die.
I'd
And then it's like,
rather-
which method of death?
I'd rather die with like a show, and by show I mean the memories of all the women who have
Yeah.
come before me.
Right. Rather than looking at Austin Butler licking a knife.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
The blue goo, the bile, the water of life, it reminds me of my pal Diana's here, and we were going through the South by program, and we discovered that there is a Tide laundry experience where you can go and discover like the greatest laundry innovation of the century that involved enzymes, I believe. And I was like, are they gonna make us eat Tide Pods?
Yeah.
I felt
Is
like
that still a thing?
I felt like they were gonna like make us eat Tide Pods if we went to that. And that's sort of what, didn't the water of life kind of look like
Yeah, oh yeah.
laundry detergent to you?
It did. Or like, you guys remember Gatorade Frost? That was delicious.
If anyone went to the Tide laundry experience or knows someone who has and survived it, will you please tell me what the laundry innovation of the century is? Because I am curious, but I didn't want to risk my life in order to find out.
Still time.
I value my life. Okay. Last but not least, I think, and then we're going to go to audience questions.
This is only my second Would You Rather.
And this is my third.
I'm about to receive a second from you. I've got more for you. We'll do it rapid fire. Hit me.
This is your third. from
What's
me.
next?
Okay. Either one results in fiery death. Here we go.
Exciting.
Would
Okay.
you rather brush a dragon's teeth from House of the Dragon
Okay.
or be responsible for the maintenance of the rear end of a sandworm in Doom?
Do I get to pick the dragon, and am I part of the party that has used a thumper to summon Shai Halud, or am I just sort of like there receiving an assignment from Muad'Dib?
You're the master of your own destiny in these scenarios.
I have to go with the dragons.
Okay.
Because like, what if we bonded?
Yeah, you're still going to die, but like what an honor to be
I don't
killed by
know.
your closest animal familiar.
I don't know. This could be how I become a dragon rider at last, and then I could like climb and mount the dragon and quote
Phrasing.
Dario and
Yeah.
Jorah, like, you can't ride the dragon, and then I would die. But I would have had that moment, and it would be worth it. I'm like Anakin. I don't like sand, you know? So despite really enjoying Dune Part 2, I'm not very interested in the sandworm experience. Dragons, that's for me. All right, Joe, my next one for you is about, like, an act of public good.
A lot of beaches on Dragonstone. Okay, yeah.
I'm going to ask you to play IP Savior for a minute here.
Okay.
You have the ability to ensure one of these outcomes. No pressure, but the fate of two of the most cherished fictional universes rests in your capable hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
What am I saving?
Would you rather guarantee that the X-Men, via Wolverine and Deadpool, via X-Men 97, revive the MCU this year? We don't have to wait until 2025 when my wife, Vanessa Kirby, comes to save the MCU and the Fantastic Four. We can ensure that the MCU is saved sooner. Or ensure that the Acolyte is such a smashing sensation that Lucasfilm and Disney feel emboldened to continue to tell stories outside of the Skywalker saga
really
across the timeline.
Important to me that we put Anakin to bed. So I'm going Acolyte. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the X-Men.
Eat shit, Marvel.
We've
That's
had
what you said.
We've had a lot of really great X-Men properties, and we've had some good Star Wars television, but we deserve more and better.
Okay.
What if we get more Andor, but better?
I mean, that would be great.
Right?
What a show.
Yeah.
What a show. All right. You have single-handedly ensured that
The death of Marvel.
Marvel will die. Marvel will die, and that is sad. But it does mean a lot of people are going to read the book.
Sounds like
to
a
remember
second
the glory
edition
days.
of the book to me. The Fall of Marvel Studios. All right, should we do some audience?
I have to ask you this last one. It's a really quick one, but I genuinely need to know what you think about this. I need to. It's called That Swapped Buddy. Would you rather port animated Uncle Iroh into the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender, or port Daniel Day Kim's live-action Fire Lord Ozai into the animated show?
That one. Daniel Day Kim into... Sorry, eat shit, Mark Hamill. Daniel Day Kim is going into the animated... yes.
Real journey on the Star Wars front there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Questions.
Is Steve
Slido.
here? No.
Steve's not here. Sad. Sad.
But in our hearts always.
Besides Monkey Man, this is from Brian. Besides Monkey Man, what are you excited to see?
I am really excited to see Fall Guy, which I'm seeing on Tuesday. And that is the Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt joint. And we got a little preview of it at the Oscars last night with their little Barbenheimer bit. So Mallory asked me to report back on how good Ryan and Emily looked when we see them at the Paramount on Tuesday. It's going to be, I'm going to have to just say simply stunning.
Yeah,
probably.
on a scale from stunning to astonishing. How good did they look? Sadly, that is after I leave, and so I can't see it. But that would have been my pick, too.
Yeah.
But I was thrilled to see Three Body. I was. Monkey Man's going to change our lives, though, as Joe already said.
It's going to rewrite our DNA. What can we do?
Okay. Speaking of Three Body, Francis asked Joe, are you excited about Three Body Problem? Walk us through it. How are you feeling? You've seen an episode. We won't spoil the specifics, but how is your hype level in general?
I've seen the first episode twice now.
Right.
I watched it at home, sad and lonely on a screener, and then with hundreds of my personal friends at the Paramount the other night.
Did it change your hype?
It was
seeing
a
one
much
episode?
better experience in a giant room with hooting and hollering people. Absolutely. John Bradley got a lot of laughs. Like it was
Samwell.
It was a lovely experience. I'm excited. I'm curious. The reviews have been quite mixed. We've got some ecstatic reviews from colleagues, and then a lot of critics who are like, eh. So I generally don't know what to think. And then Mallory and I are going to be reading the book literally this weekend, I believe, is our plan.
Who could have seen that coming?
Never once crammed.
We did. We had actually a conversation, like a real one, where we said we genuinely don't like to tease things too far out because plans change.
Yeah.
But we made a strategic, deliberate decision to say out loud on a podcast a month ago that we were going to do this, so that we would have no choice but to adhere to a schedule. And yet here we are.
We said we were going to do 2 book club podcasts, and I was like, that way we're not cramming the final week. We'll spread it out.
Right.
And then
we're not cramming the final week. We're cramming the final weekend.
There you go. We had to move some things. Now it's only one book club podcast, and we'll be doing the old House of Our Cram job. But listen, phrasing is a thing, and I think once I read the book, I will be even more excited. Where's your excitement level?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the entire series. I'm excited to read the books. I purchased these books. It was pre-COVID, so it had to be like 5-6 years ago. I've had them on my bookshelf and just had not gotten around to reading them for reasons that elude me because they come so highly recommended from a number of friends and colleagues whose opinions we like really trust.
We do.
And so I am so excited to finally dip
like
into the text.
They're little 3-body pills. You know what I mean?
They are 3-body pilled. They are. And I can't wait to see the show. Here's the thing about our old friends Benioff and Weiss. They are fucking amazing at building a world, establishing a world, and adapting a text when that part of the text exists and has been written and is there to adapt. And so this is a complete series, and so that is very appealing to me.
It's a binge drop. So that always tempers my excitement.
You don't love a binge drop.
I don't, because
you
then
don't
we
love a
can't
binge drop.
all vibe through it together.
You wanted 8 uninterrupted weeks of people talking about physics together.
And
we have been
guys,
deprived
to be clear,
by
that's
Netflix.
not what all 3-body problem is. I promise.
Yeah, get hyped.
There's also conversation about crisps at one point.
That was good.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what's next? Joe, I really need glasses. I mean, the ones that are on one line are crystal clear. The other one, that's 3 lines. That helped.
Jacqueline writes, what recent adaptations would have been more impactful in a different format/medium? Should Ahsoka get a movie? Don't we deserve the 6+ hours of a Dune miniseries? Here's a good news, Jacqueline, wherever you may be. We're getting a Dune television show.
Yeah. You know how I know that? It's because Joe selected both Dune the movie and Dune Prophecy the television show on her hype draft.
And what if I'm right? You know? What if we run it back and I shouldn't have come last in the hype draft? What if we're all just Dune pilled by the end of the year? Yeah, I think that's a great call. We talked about this, that we don't feel, even though we would love to spend more time in Arrakis, we really do feel that Dune needed to be that sort of overwhelming sensory theater experience, that I'm glad they're movies. Glad, I tell you. But should Ahsoka have been a movie, Mallory? You're the one emotionally attached to Ahsoka Tano. What do you think?
Not only do I think Ahsoka should have been a show, I think it probably should have been a longer show. I think it was too short. I know that Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars episodes are obviously more succinct and compact. You're looking at like 22, 24 minutes, but the ability to tell a story over like 14 to 22 episodes, I don't know that Ahsoka should have been 22, but maybe like 10, because we were really having a great time. Definitely through 5 weeks and into 6 weeks. And it wasn't until 7 and 8 that we started to wonder what went wrong. What went wrong?
I feel like you're slightly rosying the experience, but I don't mind.
Not
that
my
for
experience.
You. Okay.
Not mine.
Definitely think we had a great time like the first 3 episodes. I will co-sign that.
What? 4 was the best. And 5, they went to the world between worlds and Anakin was there. Remember?
I do remember.
That ruled. That was great. I usually am inclined to say that I think things should be shows instead of movies, but I actually do agree on Dune that like the visual spectacle and just awe-inspiring scale of what Villeneuve is doing, and still, as we've talked about for many hours so far on our podcast, follow on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, it's hard to imagine that fitting anywhere else.
Yeah.
And to know that because we are, of course, in the era of IP expansion, which is part of why we did an IP draft that nobody understood, is that we are going to get Dune shows, and we're getting Dune Lego sets and Dune video games. It's like a Dune moment. So it's fun to know that we'll have that as well. We were talking in our mailbag episode last week about how like the thing that we felt we lost in the movies was more of the palace intrigue and those kinds of plots. Yeah. Which would have been fun to see more of. But you know what?
Plots and schemes.
Dune's a great movie.
But hopefully we'll get some of that in the
Schemes and Plots?
television series, Dune Prophecy. Brian has asked what our favorite places to eat while in Austin. And I'm going to answer some things truthfully and keep other things a secret so that you can't make the lines longer.
Good strategy. I like this.
I don't say my basic B answer is that I like to stop by Terry Black's for barbecue for sure. That's a whole experience. The line is already long, so you can't possibly make it longer. Don't worry about it. I will say that I love swinging by Torchy's Tacos while I'm in town. These are all very basic answers. And then there's also just because I've been coming to South by for over a decade, that's chilling. When you get off the flight and you drive into town and you pass, I don't necessarily like to eat there. I actually don't think I've been to either, but you see a P. Terry's or you see a Whataburger and you're like, I'm in Texas. That makes me feel cozy and I'm here.
Right.
And then, I'm going to keep the taco place I like a secret. And what do you want to say, Mallory?
So this is only my second time here, ever. I was at South by in 2019. I had a season 8 of Game of Thrones, had the time of my life, and I'm having the time of my life again. It's great here. I look forward to returning. I love and have a deep and abiding passion for breakfast tacos and brisket, and so I just try to have as much of that while I'm here as humanly possible. Haven't had it this time, but I did have Gus's fried chicken last time I was here, half a decade ago, and it was great. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Show of hands if you wish Mallory would stop referring to 2019 as half a decade ago.
But it was. The thing it was, and we have to confront that. We have to.
This is the 5th time she's done it today. It's really upsetting. Stop, please.
We have to. Time is a flat circle.
That just happened. That's that was 2019, pre-pandemic, and the pandemic was last year. So I think it was just 2 years ago. I think is when that was.
Half a decade. Okay, Seth. What's a book, show, or movie that you think everyone who is a fan of House of R should read or watch?
I mean, is it the basic answer of you won't understand what we're talking about if you haven't watched Game of Thrones?
I do think it has to be Game of Thrones. It's difficult to pick another answer. It is the origin story text.
Foundational text. Yeah.
And it ends wonderfully, and you'll enjoy it throughout. That's the great news. So you know what? Here's the thing about Game of Thrones. For 85% of the way.
Oh, it was a good time.
Dynamite.
We had a great time.
Loved it. We love going to Westeros.
I met some of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I met you. Yeah. It's an important time. Let's not worry about endings. Endings aren't all there is.
No.
Yeah.
They're adventures, and they must be shared. You should also read Lord of the Rings. We talk about those two things a lot.
I would say. Also, all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Every Marvel property.
Yeah, probably watch the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched
160, 140 episodes of Doctor Who last year.
Yeah.
So you should do that also.
We re-binged all of Avatar: The Last Airbender. You watched all of The Bad Batch again recently.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. We got time for a couple more quick ones. Quick one, baby, quick one. Tim asks, my.
Oh, my.
Ooh. Okay. We've got a couple questions about sex here. Actually, all of the remaining questions appear to be about sex.
Emily's is quite innocent.
Okay, 3 of the 4 remaining questions appear to be about sex. Okay, which of these do you want to hit?
I think we have to do
Fuck, Marry, Moondor?
Anonymous, obviously.
Anonymous asks, let's run back Fuck, Marry, Moondor. Am I not supposed to say fuck? Or did Anonymous just not type? Well, it's too late now. Okay, let's run back Fuck, Marry, Moondor. But you're deciding from the POV of a character. Say Jaime Lannister. Your picks: Cersei, Brienne, Dune, Popcorn, Bucket.
Okay, the Dune Popcorn Bucket is going out the moon door.
Of course.
Right? It's not even on the list for
Absolutely.
Jaime.
Yeah. Right. We're keeping the 2 people Jaime has actually
canonically fucked.
His sister and Brienne.
No props. Just his sister. It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to fuck, if I'm Jaime, I'm going to fuck Cersei and I'm going to marry Brienne. Do it the way it should have been done.
Okay. Well, I'll do it how it was canonically done and say, I'll fuck Brienne and then I will go back to Cersei. Why, Jaime? No. And
So
then
sad.
all the rubble falls on them and they're
Honestly
dead.
tragic.
Spoilers for the end of Game of Thrones.
That was also half a decade ago. It's fine.
Stop.
That's a wrap.
We did. Oh, yeah, 0. We did it. Okay.
There's a blinking red light.
Get off the stage. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everybody who chose to spend an hour of their time with us. Thanks for listening to the pod. If you don't listen to the pod and you're like, what was this? This was a wild energy. Check it out.
Yeah.
On
We
Spotify,
do this, but like
wherever
3
you
times
get your
as long.
podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.